Welcome to the RV Game Changer Show with Uncle Bernie, brought to you by Campers in RV, the RVers trusted resource. If you're interested in RVs as a consumer, service provider, or as a manufacturer of RVs, this show is for you. Here we talk to RV experts, RV manufacturers, lifestyle influencers, service providers, charitable organizations, and component providers with a sole purpose to make RVing more fun and exciting and easier for you and your family. Please subscribe to RV Game Changer with Uncle Bernie on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Of course, find us by searching at RV Game Changer on YouTube. Let's see what we can do to make your life better this week on RV Game Changer. Welcome to RV Game Changer. Today we have the privilege of speaking with Sara Dover, brand manager for Dometic, a component manufacturer, and she'll tell us why Dometic continues to be a component leader in the RV industry, as well as a progressive accessory innovator for just about any outdoorsy type family. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Sara Dover.
Hey, hi. Hi, Bernie. How are you?
Excellent. Excellent. Would you please tell the audience just a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm Sara Dover. I'm the brand manager at Dometic, and I typically focus on the RV side of our business. I've been with Dometic almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years in June. I've been in the RV industry 3 years prior to that. I worked for Keystone RV Company. And so I feel like I'm still a little newbie in this world because there's so many, seniored experts and veterans in this industry. But I've got a little knowledge under my belt, I feel like. So I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm sure you're doing your homework, but you are up against quite a few people that have been in the industry for, several decades. It's
Right.
just, it's amazing the amount of tenure and education and history and experience that people have. So,
For sure.
Dometic is basically a household name in the RV industry. But for those who don't know who Dometic is yet, can you tell them a little bit about the types of products Dometic makes?
Sure. Yeah, you're right, Bernie. Dometic is a household name, and there's a lot of folks out there who may not know Dometic until they start paying attention to appliances. Just like at home, I know I have an oven, but I couldn't tell you what brand I have until, something may go wrong or I need to get it repaired. But Dometic is a global brand, and we're around the world, but we manufacture appliances, typically ACs, awnings, refrigerators, toilets, water heaters, furnaces. Some of the stuff that we manufacture isn't, necessarily sexy, but you definitely need it when you're on the road. And our goal is to really make mobile living easy for people. I think, we definitely make things comfortable, and we give you the luxuries that you may have at home. But our goal is to give you those things in an easy manner that make you want to get out more often, stay out longer, and really enjoy the outdoors and the beautiful Mother Nature around you, with your friends, your family, or even just on your own. Maybe you work remote. And then the other thing that's really great about Dometic is we also have a whole division of products that are more like camping stuff. So furniture, tables, chairs, benches. We make an electric cooler that is so slick and cool that, really honestly, I don't necessarily even camp as often as I'd want to. And I love my electric cooler just in my house. So.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk more about that, because having beverages cold where you want them, when you need them, and is all very important. It sounds to me that Dometic kind of brings a little bit of your home with you in your RV, right? So they get you the hot water, they get you the refrigerator, the stovetop, or whatever it may be. There's just so many products that you folks build that it just bringing the qualities of our home life out to camping.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the sweet spot. That's like where the magic happens, right? All of the RVers want the luxuries of home that are in, a tight, compact space that goes down the road at 75, 80 miles an hour. And so I think that it's really simple to say like, well, I want my, you know, refrigerator to be just like my refrigerator at home. But
Right.
in theory, though, your refrigerator that's going to be in your RV should be built better than your refrigerator at home, because your refrigerator at home just sits here. But your RV refrigerator is literally moving everywhere with you. So we like to say that our products are adventure tested or road tested.
Okay.
We really do put our products through a rigorous testing process. One of the things that I think of right away when we're talking about being on the road, we have a shaker system that literally shakes all of our
Oh, wow.
products. Yeah, so things are definitely built a little bit differently than they are going to be in your home, but they should have that same comfort level or residential feel that you have from your home appliance. And sometimes people's RV is even nicer than what they have at home. It just depends on, you know, who you,
Yeah, yeah.
how
Depends on their
luxurious.
priorities, right? It really
Yeah.
does. You know, a lot of people do downsize their home tremendously and then buy a really big RV that's going to be traveling the country with, and
Yeah.
they end up spending as much, if not more time in their RV. And, you know, you were talking a little bit about the build and the quality of them
Mhm.
and why they're designed the way they are. I don't, you know, not everyone may know, but every time your RV goes down the road and say you're traveling at 65, 70 miles an hour, that's like a class one hurricane, right?
Right.
And then if it
Right.
starts raining while you're doing that, and you know, and now you're
Yep.
getting all the, you know, the earthquakes and the raining and the tornadoes, and basically your camper's going through all these different weather patterns while you're just, you know, doing what you think is normal. But you know, your appliances are could be taking a beating if they're not built right.
Yeah, and same goes too when you know, many people head west from here, you know,
Right.
or they head south. I'm in Elkhart and it is cold and not sunny right now. And so all of our snowbirds have definitely left for Florida. And you know, when you get into sunny climates that are really hot, that also takes a toll on your RV, your walls for sure, but
Oh
also
yeah.
the appliances that sit outside. So same goes for our awning and our fan and our AC. We test those in different temperatures and different climates and different weather inclements, wind, rain, those kinds of things, so that we know for sure that, you know, that rooftop is going to get super duper hot. Can that AC withstand it? Can the fan withstand it?
Right.
We even have a UV protectant on our awnings, so we know that they're going to last. When that black awning comes out, it is going to get super hot.
Right.
And we also think about how can we use an appliance like that to help protect you a little bit. So that's why we put the UV rating on there too. We're
Oh
thinking
yeah.
about it, Bernie.
Yeah, I think, you know, you have to take a lot into consideration, right? Because, you know, metals and plastics and all these items that you use inside these air conditioners or fans or heaters or hot water heaters, they're going to expand and contract, and need to be able to handle all that, correct?
Yeah. The other thing too that I think people may not know about Dometic, which I'd love to tell you a little bit about, Dometic has been around for like 100 years,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah,
I didn't realize that.
there's some information on our website where you can read about our history. But Dometic actually started with two gentlemen that were a part of Electrolux, and back in 1922 they had developed absorption refrigeration. And it was in 1925 that Dometic entered the picture and worked or became part of Electrolux, became part of Dometic. And in 1925, they mass produced refrigeration. So this
Oh my
year, it's
goodness,
kind
I
of,
had no idea. So that's when that
yeah,
absorption, you know, that whole ammonia system came about. Is back then.
correct. Yeah. Now, I'm not an expert on absorption refrigeration. In fact, listeners should know I'm your marketing person. I'm not the product
Okay.
expert,
And you're
but
doing
I
a
know
great
enough
job, by
to
the
be
way.
dangerous. Yeah, I know enough to get myself in trouble. But yeah, we're celebrating 100 years of innovation and collaboration. And we say
And
it
what
like
country did
that.
Dometic start in?
Say that again.
What country did Dometic begin?
Well, it began in I'd have to double check, but our home country is based in Sweden. That's where our like corporate global office is. And
Fantastic.
so, yeah, so we're saying innovation and collaboration because, as everybody knows, Dometic has purchased companies over the years.
Right.
And, years ago, we purchased Atwood, which is where we got really amazing technology for our cooling systems. And so it's been a great few years that I've been with the company. We've purchased other acquisitions like Go Power and ZAMP, and we have a really robust mobile power division. We've recently made the acquisition of Igloo Coolers, which everybody knows as a true like Americana cooler brand.
Right. Right.
And yeah, so Dometic has really grown in 100 years to say the least. But we're super happy with all of our innovative partners, and we work collaboratively across different channels. And so that's something else that people should know about Dometic is we've been around. We've been doing this for a very long time, and we've got many more years to go.
All right, let's dig into a little bit more specific in the products. That's fantastic
Yeah.
information, by the way. I get this question all the time from customers. Let's talk about the transition from a traditional gas electric hot water heater to the new, on-demand tankless style hot water heaters. And, why do you think that this transition is happening right now?
Well, it's funny. I think that when I worked at Keystone RV Company a few years ago, they were definitely part of the big brands to bring in on-demand hot water. And I remember then, I was very new to the industry, but I remember thinking, if I had a camper, I want my hot water, right now, and I don't want to wait, And
And I
so I
don't want
think
it to
that
run out. Yeah.
yeah, I think that, like we talked about before, people are really wanting things to function like they do at home.
Right.
Now, what's funny is when I go turn on my hot water, I have to wait a little bit because I've got water that's got to travel up a couple of, levels to get there, but
Right.
I
Right.
think people have that expectation. And then, the technology has entered our space, and marketers are really good at their game. And so they've done a great job of talking about, you don't have to wait, or hot water right when you need it, those sort of things. But what we've seen is people are actually having to wait when they have an on-demand system. And there's also a level of water that's being wasted. And, like we said earlier, not everything with RV is exactly like you have it at home. For people who boondock and are not, attached to the shore power or the water at the campsite, you have a limited supply. And that's very different than what we have at home. I never worry if my tank is going to go low when I'm at home, but in the camper,
Right.
you have to think about that. And
Oh, yeah.
so, Dometic water heaters are not tankless, but we do deliver more hot water, and we do have lower wait times compared to the competition. And there's studies that we've done. I can look those up and send them to you if you want. But we do have one of the fastest recovery times on the market for a
Okay.
tank water heater. We're nearly 50% lighter than our competition, which is actually a big deal when you think about weight and carrying capacity and towing capacity. Every little bit helps when you're a manufacturer. You want to have a lower weight so that people can tow your RV. The other thing too about ours is we have an aluminum tank, which is clutch when you're talking to consumers and they're trying to make sure, they're wanting to resist the rust and corrosion that tends to happen without an aluminum tank. That anode rod that is in most of the water heaters today, it rusts, and
Right. Right.
it gets nasty, and you have to spend time replacing it, and then you have to spend money to replace it.
And then
So
you have
our
to
tank,
evacuate that tank. You got to flush it out to
yeah,
get any residual solids out of there, or else that will rust the tank as well or corrode it.
absolutely. So because our tanks are aluminum, that factor right there resists the rust and corrosion. So we've eliminated the need to do the regular maintenance on the anode rod. And then I got to double check my facts here, but we also have a nickel-based in-colloy heating element,
Oh,
and
wow.
that ensures the efficient heat transfer. and delivers the fastest recovery rate, and also doesn't, have that rod. So we've looked at things on how to improve the maintenance and deliver a better product to people. The other thing that's key when we're talking about water heaters, with on-demand being all the rage right now, we have a study that shows in comparison to on-demand water heaters, we deliver less wait time with a stored hot water in the tank.
Okay.
And an on-demand, I'm looking at my notes here, so forgive me for looking.
Don't worry. Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Right. The on-demand competitor requires up to a 50-second wait time. So you do have to, in fact, wait a bit for that water.
So that's a lot of water you're wasting, right?
There you go. And it's a lot of water that can be wasted. There's a ton of videos out on YouTube. So you can hear about these things from people who are not affiliated with, a manufacturer like us. But, when it's basically wasting up to a gallon per minute more of water. That's significant. That's significant. Wow. When you may only carry, a 40-gallon tank, and your gray water tank may be even smaller than that.
It's filling right up. Yeah. Really quickly. No, I like how, Dometic and, how they took, the aluminum and then the nickel plated heating element. And that's like breaking it down right down to the atomic level as far as like, resisting corrosion and having the best heat transference and all that other stuff. That's just amazing that they spent that time and energy doing the research to make that right.
Yeah. And you know what, Bernie, we're trying to do a better job of talking about that to the market. I think over the few years, maybe we haven't done the best in messaging that, because this water heater that I'm talking about has been around for a few years. This is not necessarily brand new. We are coming out with a new water heater probably later this year sometime. And we're going to have some more features that we can come back and talk about, and ways that we're making it better for consumers and even for manufacturers. So we're constantly evolving and improving, but this water heater that I'm talking about is available now. You can, OEMs have access to put it in their rigs coming out. And then obviously you can upgrade if you need to at your dealerships with it.
So you have like a couple of different shapes, maybe to retrofit into other water heaters compartments and things of that nature. Oh, that's wonderful. So you can change your hot water heater that malfunctioned with one of the Dometic oil replacements. Yeah.
Absolutely. We have 6-gallon and 10 gallons. And then we have different door configurations too. Some with, some without, whatever you need. We do have plenty of solutions in the water heater category.
Fantastic. There's a bunch of tried and true OEM products that Dometic makes, right? Let's talk a little bit about the furnaces and the air conditioners. They've been around for years, and been so many of them. I'm going to pull some up while you're talking. I'm going to pull some up if you don't mind.
Sure.
But yeah, go right ahead. Have at it.
I'm going to pull up also my information on.
You want ACs first or furnaces?
Yeah, let's do ACs first.
All right. Here we go.
And so you're on our webpage right now. Let's see. Scroll up just a little bit. I want to see if we're at the top. Okay. So So Dometic has a ton of AC options out there, and we're getting ready to streamline our offering a little bit more. So historically, you probably are informed about Brisk 2. I'm probably not going to talk much about that. That's been an AC that we've had on the market for years, and it's a great AC. It does a good job. A lot of people are still using a Brisk 2. We have had some folks that will reach out to us in an effort to upgrade their Brisk, and that's where we have entered into the market with the FreshJet series. You're showing here the website, and it also has Blizzard, and I believe you might have Penguins down there too. But the FreshJet is the FreshJet launched. I got to think about this. 2 or 3 years ago, I believe, is when we launched the FreshJet 3. And the FreshJet 3 is the new platform that we're coming with as we move forward. So this year, we've been talking to our manufacturers and our dealers about a FreshJet 7 that's coming. And then we'll also have 4, 5, 6, and 7. And those will reach consumers in different ways. Yeah. So So the FreshJet 3 series that we first came out with is it's going to be super quiet. It has increased power and increased the cooling capacity. And then it's a little bit shorter than other ACs on the market, but we've come with some solutions that are going to be even better than that. So let me pull up a couple other things I want to mention too, because I want to make sure I get this right for you guys.
Want to get into the Penguin? That looks like a real sleek design.
So Penguin is very sleek. It right now it's a low profile rooftop air conditioner, but this is going to be replaced by the FreshJet 7 AC.
Oh wow!
And so we don't have 7 available to a consumer yet. So this AC is coming out probably like this summer-ish. I'm giving a vague timeline because we always have things that can impact our go-to-market timelines. But the FreshJet 7 will only be 8 inches tall. That is significantly small. Short. Yeah, so 8 inches. I mean, like really, like, you know, a standard piece of paper is 8.5 by 11, right? So if you stood a piece of paper up, it is going to be a little bit shorter than that piece of paper. It's very, very short, and it's super sleek. It'll be in black and white. It has the standard BTUs, and it is ultra quiet. And when I mean ultra quiet, we had a educational display at our Tampa show this past January, and we recorded a bunch of sounds, typical sounds that you hear, you know, every day, a lawnmower, a conversation, those kinds of things. A standard conversation in your house is 50 decibels. And a lot of times people don't know what decibels sound like until they hear it. So I have a great video that I can even share with you that demonstrates this. But this AC, the FreshJet 7 that's coming out, is quieter than a conversation. It comes in at about 48 decibels.
That's incredible.
People's large complaint right now is quiet and cooling capacity. They want to be comfortable and they want it to be quiet. And so we started solving that problem with the FreshJet 3. It is definitely quieter than the Brisk, and it's quieter than other ACs on the market. But with 7 coming in the next few months, that's really where it's the creme de la creme, the chef's kiss, if you will, of quiet, cool comfort.
You know, that's where a lot of my customers say, now, how loud is this AC going to be? The one in my previous camper was so loud we couldn't talk or watch TV while the AC was on. This is going to be completely different, right?
It's going to be completely different. You're going to be able to sit inside on a rainy day, and you'll be completely cool. You might be too cold. And then, you know, that'd be a great problem to have, is like, gosh, I'm too cold. But it'll be quiet so you can sleep, your dogs can sleep. That's another thing a lot of people worry about when they leave their RV. They want their dogs to be comfortable. Right. So you will have comfortable pets and comfortable children, and babies will sleep, and you know, the loudest thing you might hear is your husband snoring, and you're gonna have to figure that out.
That is typically the loudest thing, yes.
Yeah. I also want to mention for Brisk, or I'm sorry, not for Brisk, for FreshJet 3. FreshJet 3 is still available. That's available right now. You can get that at dealerships, and a lot of manufacturers are putting that on rigs.
Right. So you can replace those. Like, say your AC isn't functioning very well, you can request one of these ACs and have that put on, and it's going to be a lower profile, and it's also going to be a lot quieter than a traditional AC from, say, 10 years ago or something like that. Correct.
Yeah. If you have AC problems this afternoon, you can head to your dealership and you can request a FreshJet 3. FreshJet 3s are in the market. They've been in the market for a few years now. They come in black or white shrouds, again, 13.5 BTU and 15,000 BTU. And they too have 13% higher cooling capacity than other rooftop ACs on the market. They have 15% better airflow and 14% lighter than Brisk 2, which makes it so much easier for dealers and those guys building the rigs to put on top of the RV. And then we have cut the perceived noise by a third. So the FreshJet 3 is still quiet, super powerful. It's a great AC. We're just always thinking forward, and we're going to be coming out with its brothers and sisters in the family that will be even quieter.
Fantastic. Hey, how about if we get onto some furnaces right now?
Let's talk about it. Let's
Yeah,
talk about being hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we just cooled down after being overheated. But there's a lot of people, especially in this area, that love the leaf peeping, and they're out camping,
Yeah.
later into the season, maybe into mid-November even. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you never know when you're going to need your furnace in that rig until you're in a spot where all of a sudden the weather changes, or it's wet and damp, and then the cold really hits you. So Dometic has been manufacturing furnaces for a very long time. Again, we have lots of options, different BTUs, different sizes. We have a small, medium, large in this case.
right. It
We
looks like
have
you have something for just about every size. I mean, from 12,000 up to 40,000 BTUs. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So yeah, you
And
can be
these
doing big
also-
rigs or whatever. Yeah.
These have very flexible installation options. You know, some people need their furnace installed in a vertical format versus a horizontal. That
Okay.
can all be done with ours. We offer doored and doorless models as well. If you need a door, some rigs don't have the furnace requiring a door, so that's fine too.
They might have just the exhaust sticking out or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the really great thing, the great story about our furnace is we have some videos I can send you if you're interested in it. But our furnace, we like to say that cold spots in your RV really should be a thing of the past. You should not be warm in the bedroom and cold in the living room. You should have even heat distribution. This shouldn't be a problem people are talking about, and it is. And so with our furnace, first of all, our furnace is very lightweight, but it has the power to push that heat to every inch of your RV. And we demonstrated that again in Tampa. We had the competitor furnace up against the Dometic furnace, and we showed with little balls in little tubes coming out of
the airflow. Yeah, that's cool.
And so our airflow was all even and was much higher in the tubes than the competitor. So we do have that. We have a low profile, compact design, and that's all engineered for easy maintenance. And then we have that consistent airflow. We have a faster heat up. And of course, it's backwards compatible. So if you have an old model or a different competitor model, we have plenty of options and configurations that work backwards.
Some nice retrofits. Let me ask you one question, because I see, and I don't know, let me put it back on screen here. If people can take a look, say for instance, I click on this one, get a closer look at it. They have like these round circles all around those. So what would those be? I think you know. If you don't, I can help you out.
I am pretty certain that those are giving you the different flexibility in installation for your different ducting options. I don't believe that every RV is made the same and all the duct comes in the exact same spots. So we have different options on that those different panels so that you can have your ductwork come in properly.
Makes it easy for the tech to be out there, and they can just pop those circles out and add ductwork as it is configured for that particular RV. So
and it's easier too for the OEM. They don't have to reconfigure their ductwork when they're building their RV and their floor plan. They can just pop those out, and the furnace will work with their ductwork. It's a lot of work to go change a floor plan and redesign an RV, the ductwork structure. That's got to be a nightmare. So
so you have that flexible product that's going to make it real easy for them to do that.
And at the end of the day, when you're talking to the consumer, no matter where your duct comes in, we have the power and the even consistent airflow. So wherever you go in your RV, if you want to be warm, you should be warm.
All right. So I'm going to hit on a couple of things for people who might be still in a pop-up or they're tenting or
Yeah.
something like that. I'm going to pull up the portable toilets. I had a friend of mine actually inquire about one just the other day, and it's like, yeah, these things are easy to use. They're handy. You can stick them in the corner of your little pop-up, so mom doesn't have to go, sharing the dirt road with the raccoons in the middle of the night, and all those fun
Yeah.
things. Huh?
Yeah. You want to take care of mom on the road, man. She's the one that
Absolutely.
she packs that RV. She gets all your clothes figured out. She's probably put together the itinerary, and now you're going to make her have to go potty outside. That's unfair.
Right. Or like walk a half a mile to get to the little outhouse on the prairie out there at the
Yeah.
campground. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night, right? No.
Yeah. So, these are really great options for people who are on the go. And it's so funny. We don't talk about these a lot, but we do have them available. I've taken a couple to a few trade shows that we've done for consumers, and these are very popular with people who have very little space and they're on the road a lot. So, again, there's different options and different sizes. It's just like a cassette, I think is what they also can be called. You can
Right.
pull that little tank out, empty it, clean it, pop it back in. You can mount it. I know a lot of people that don't mount it. They just have it kind of like in the back of their vehicle, and they pull it out when they need it. And I do believe that the seal on those is very good as well. So you don't have a lot of odor that'll carry with you.
It's
And
like an automatic locking system. So you pull that handle to disengage it, then you can pull that cartridge out. But I see over here too that you have some chemical here to keep it, smelling pretty good while you're using it, right? So it doesn't get too
yep,
stinky in the camper.
yep. And I think that also helps. Helps control the odor, but I think it also helps with like cleaning and breaking down of things as well.
Yeah, it's enzymatic, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, and usually, I believe this is sold in our dealer network. So you're going to want to check when you go into your dealership.
Okay.
You're going to want to ask them what kind of options they have available. We are not necessarily the expert on chemicals, but we do make a really great toilet, and it's up to the dealership of whether they're going to be, stocking the deodorant treatment here, the chemical.
Okay. As far as items like this, can people, buy these right from the website and have them shipped to their home?
I believe here that it said it was sold in dealerships.
Oh, okay.
Some of them, if you scroll down, one of them, just the one you were just on, said sold in our dealer network. This one does say add to cart. So I would say that it depends. It depends on whether or not the product is offered in a dealership or not. So yeah, I think you just have to kind of click and see a little bit, Bernie, to be honest with you.
All right. So some of them may be, but some of them may not be. Okay.
Yeah. Recently, we made a change to our web strategy, if you will. We were selling some of our products direct online, and we changed that to basically be a better partner for our dealers. The dealers are really the experts in installation and service and repair, and they are the channel by which Dometic gets products out into the market. So we really want to drive people to visit your dealership and purchase some of these things. Now, there are some things that don't require any, you don't have to know gas and electric to have a portable toilet. So you may see some of those things that are sold on Dometic.com, or sometimes even on our Amazon store on Amazon. But I would check your dealership first. That way you can make sure you're getting the best product and with the chemicals or with the warranty or whatever.
Fantastic. You're giving me so much great information, and I'm trying to find these little coolers, and I'm trying to figure out where they are on your website here. So
yeah, I think if you click on outdoor, or you can even type CFX in the search bar, and then you'll be able to find them there too.
CFX. Let's see. Oh, there it is. It pops right up.
Yeah.
It's a popular search.
Yes, it is.
All right. So let's pull that up because
Yeah.
these coolers are wonderful, and you can charge them up, right? And then move them around. Is that what we're talking about here?
Well, sort of, sort of. So
All right.
these
Tell me what's up.
coolers are a powered cooler. They have to have some power source.
Okay.
And some people might say, well, why would I want that? I can have my, Yeti and I just need to fill it with ice. Yes, that's very true. But how often do you have soggy sandwiches, or you have to be careful with the food that you take because some food needs to stay really cold and you don't have a guarantee on temperature with ice. The main reason too that ice tends to be kind of a pain in the butt is that you have to stop and go get it all the time.
And then you got to drain out the water and refresh it constantly. It's a hassle.
Yeah. And probably every few days you have to say, oh my gosh, did we get ice? Did we get ice? And did we get wood for the fireplace? Right. And so this basically puts an end to ice and an end to soggy sandwiches. And it really elevates the type of food that you can bring with you. And it can be a game changer for your trip. So the way that these work is they can plug into any power source that you have. 12 volt, 110 DC, like however you have power, it can plug in. It's got a bunch of different cords that come with it. We like to run these off of our battery system so that you can boondock.
Okay.
You can charge up a battery and have a CFX. And depending upon your temperature that you're in and your environment, this cooler can probably run off a battery for 2.5, 3 days. I've seen definitely 3 days. And
wow.
Yeah. And it depends on how cold you want it to be, or again, how hot your environment is. The other thing that's really cool about this is these can also be a freezer. So they go down to -7 or as cold as you want it to be. And then we have a bunch of different size options as well. We have a 25 liter that is ideal for like a single traveler or maybe 2 people for a few days. Up to this one here that you're showing is our 99 liter, and it is huge, as it shows there. We say 9 days for 7 people, or Americans love to measure things in cans. So we say 100
like 1 day's worth.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, the cool thing about this, if you go back to all the different options of sizes,
Sure.
I want to show you our 75. Scroll down here a little. Actually, click on the 95. Just scroll up.
All right.
Up a little bit right there. Yep. Click on that one.
Okay. Come on.
This one is a dual zone CFX, which means, yeah, it's got 2 doors on it, as you can see, and there's a wall in the middle. And so one side can be refrigerator, one side could be freezer.
Fantastic.
That's a game changer when you're out on the road. You can take ice cream or popsicles, whatever you need frozen. And you can take fresh fruit. You can take lettuce. You can't take fresh fruit and lettuce in a soggy thing of ice. So
that's right. Or eggs in one of those cardboard cartons either. Yeah. That doesn't work.
Exactly. These are also really rugged. So it's 2025, and we have 3 different models, if you will, of CFX coolers. We have the CFX 2 and the CFX 5 that have entered the market in the last few months.
Wow.
The CFX 3 is a model that we've had on the market for, I want to say, like 5 years. It's an excellent cooler. And the CFX 5 basically just has some upgrades. So we'll be phasing out the 3 and we'll be driving people to the 5. The 5 is something that basically we tell people, like, if you are on the road for long periods of time, you've been camping for, years, you definitely need a really rugged CFX cooler. We recommend the 5. If you are just dabbling in this and maybe you're just a weekender, or you like to have a powered cooler in the back of your car or with you for soccer games or whatever, the CFX2 is a great option that is a little bit less rugged and it's a little bit cheaper. And we only have 4 models of CFX2.
Okay. So it's a little more flexible for, we're going to the soccer game and hanging out for a little while, and so you could use it for day-to-day kind of cooler requirements, right?
Yeah. It will also go down to a freezing temperature, but the space inside of the CFX2 doesn't cool in the same manner that the CFX5 or 3 does. The 5 and 3 are a little bit more powerful, a little bit more efficient. But the 2 is still a great option for people who are wanting to try this new way of an ice-free way of living.
You know, I'm thinking, as I'm looking at these coolers, if you can get them down to close to 0, can you imagine if you were an avid fisherman or a woman, right? And you're out there and you're catching these beautiful fish and you clean them right there in the river. Now, if you get them into a 0-degree environment, when you wrap them tight, those things are going to be freshly tasting fantastic for weeks and weeks to come. So, I mean, it's a great way to store, fresh fish for sure.
Absolutely. We have many people that will see us out on the road at shows, and they will come up to us saying, I am a fisherman and I just want to have the capacity or the ability to throw that fish into a freezer and have a large capacity. So that's where we have our CFX, either 5 or 3. It's 100 liters. It has a single zone for those big fish that everybody wants to catch. You can throw that in there and you can keep your fish, whole or in a large format. Not a fishing expert.
Yeah, that's
you don't have to
7 gallons. That's huge.
Yeah. You don't have to dice it up or cut it up right away. You could just put it in there and you're good. Same for hunters.
Have at it.
Yeah, same for hunters. Wow. It's great for hunting. People like to put their meat instantly on the freezer. It's great for hunters.
Well, I wanted to get to this real soon here because it's kind of it's an important feature, and it's these inflatable tents that you can put on top of vehicles like this TRT 140 Air. This is a brilliant one, and I actually have one of your colleagues on a video doing a little thing. You mind if I give them a little presentation here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, take me a second to figure it out. Yeah. Let's get this going. And here we go. I'm going to open that right up. So, we're going to go into the small screen. Give him all our screen here.
Good morning, y'all. My name is VJ with Dometic, and we're here at the Overland Mountain West Expo. And today we're showing off our new TRT 140 Air Tent. So everything in Dometic, our goal is to really elevate your camping experience. And with our new TRT Air Tent, we've spared no expense on that. This thing is ultra lightweight, very easy for 2 people to set up. And in some cases, if you're strong enough, 1 person can get this up on a rack by themselves. We've got an integrated mattress built into it, 360-degree panoramic view, easily attachable, extendable ladder. And the neat thing about this is the air tent, it comes with an air compressor when you purchase the tent. So once you get to your campsite, set the air compressor up, set it to 9 PSI, and just let that thing blow up while you can go out and do other things, and then come back and your tent is just up there waiting for you. And
all right, that is just brilliant, I think.
Isn't that sick? Yeah, that sucker is so cool. It truly does go up that fast, and it comes down even faster. You just literally unscrew the tank, and it makes a loud noise. It'll shock you at first, but it just kind of, comes down, and then you fold in the sides, put the straps on it, and you're on the road to the next adventure. We say that it fits 2 people. So obviously it depends on, your size and how comfortable you want to be in that tent, but it's beautiful.
I'm thinking a lot of times as kids get a little bit older, they get into the teen years, and they don't want to be in the camper anymore. They want to have a little bit of privacy so they can giggle till 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever. Yeah. Stick that on top of your pickup truck or SUV, and now you have a separate little area for them, and it sets up in minutes. It's fantastic.
Yeah, or even if you have a little teardrop trailer that fits,
Yeah.
2 people for the teardrop, we have a few manufacturers that are purchasing the TRT 140 from us, and they're putting that on top of their teardrop trailer. So
Oh,
now
wow.
you've taken a very small, lightweight rig, and you've just added a capacity, for 2 more beds. And then we also sell new mattresses. They came out last year, I believe, early last year. And so
Right.
if that inside pad is maybe not cushiony enough, we do have different size mattresses that you can add to it, which also inflate with air and are very comfortable.
I know
So
you have tons of great products like that. You even have retrofitting mattresses for the RVs as well that are
yeah,
air inflatable, and we could go on forever. So we're going to have you on again because we kind of run the end of our rope here. But thank you so much for spending this wonderful time with me. And how can everybody get a hold of you and your team at Dometic?
sure. So you, of course, can buy all our products through our dealer network. And if you're not sure where our dealers are, you can visit Dometic.com and find our dealer locator. If you need to chat with somebody at Dometic, I'm on LinkedIn. So you can definitely friend me and follow me on LinkedIn. And I'm more than happy to help connect you with our colleagues. We also have an excellent customer service team. And if you go to Dometic.com, we have all of our numbers listed. So if you have any trouble or if you just have questions about product, call into customer service. Our techs are so knowledgeable. They're so impressive that I think just having combos with them is super helpful. And then, if you're overseas or you're listening, if somebody's listening to this and they don't have access to our products, we do have different products that are sold overseas in Europe and Australia and everywhere. So a lot of times you can find that information on Dometic.com as well, and you just change your country location there.
Well, that's fantastic. It seems to me that you and your team at Dometic are true RV game changers. And thank you so much for joining me today. And I know everyone's going to really enjoy this episode.
You're welcome, Bernie. Thanks for having me, and it's always a pleasure to talk about my business and meet people where they're at. So hopefully we've made everything easy, and we'll keep on trucking for another 100 years.
See you soon.
And if you want to find the latest episode of RV Game Changer, make sure you go to rvtoday.tv, where you find our latest episode along with a lot of great information, tips and tricks, and videos of RVing Today TV. If you want to get a hold of me, go to RV Game Changer on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and make sure to subscribe. Have a wonderful week, and God bless.